Morning, sweet, beautiful people of Mother Earth. I hear ducks. Hello, ducks. The best guru that there is, the most amazing Shakti there is, our very own beautiful planet, our very own beautiful mother who's talking to us on every single corner, in every breath. Just stop to listen. She's really alive. So, wow, we've got Friday. It feels like it's been, for me, it's been a long time coming. In a way, the time is going so quickly, but going so slowly as well. So we have got, wow, it feels like eventually to the end of this Navratri. I didn't think 9 days could be so long, but hey, they were. And over so quick. Tomorrow I'll say it's over so quickly. On to the next thing, the next part of this fabulous journey. So, clearing the beautiful energy. Thank you for the essence and the purity of the bell. She was little bell on the third night. So, yeah, it's been such an incredible journey. And though this is the third year that I'm doing it, and more Navratris, I have learned so much. It's just been such an incredible unfolding and new aspects of the goddess to see and to claim her power and her strength into my life, like ringing bells. So if we go through our beautiful goddesses very briefly, let's see if we can do them from this side. I don't know. They're all a little mixed up. I didn't know where I wanted to start with. It's the culmination and the blessings and the giving of the Siddhis, which are the powers, the magical, the supernatural powers. There are more than seven. Eight Siddhis. Yeah. But they are there for anybody to have, and they involve making yourself heavy, making yourself light, making yourself levitating, being able to manifest things out of thin air. It's from wrong guys, sorry ones. Creating out of nothing. What did I say? Levitating, being invisible, going without food. I think that's the 8. And all the clear audience, all of them, they just get put under one. That's why they split them up, and then they become like more 28 or more. Levitating, dematerializing, dividing yourself up into different places, being omnipresent. So they it's not quite the Harry Potter stuff that everybody's kind of hoping for, but they do lead to that, and they are just this beautiful fruition of, and talking to the trees, talking to the gift to talk to animals. And they come from like such purely logical space. So for me, my journey has been through Shiva, and obviously without Shiva, without the mothers of Durga and Parvati and Navratri, you can't understand Shiva because he's very central to it. And as we've seen all of this, he weaves his way throughout this whole thing and culminates in this wonderful evening of the Shiva Shakti. But it's also like a journey of our Kundalini from our base. But let's just go here. We had Shalaputri, who arrived in all of her. She was the girl of the mountain, and she was like fetched by Nandi, and she has Shiva's Trishula, and she has the closed lotus to signify her purity. It's the awakening of the base chakra. And then she becomes Brahmachari, and she is given this name by Brahma because of her absolute devotion. And she has the water pot and she has the rosary, which signify her focus, her discipline, her prayer, being able, water obviously on so many levels, but just being able to contain it, to being able to contain her emotions, to be careful with her resources, to be aware of her resources, as well as all the energy and the spirituality of the water. So she spends all that time very much alone. It's purifying her emotions, purifying her intentions. And then she is the lady of the little bell. Little bell, so sweet. Her name means like moon bell. Shanda. Just trying to think. Shanda is the moon. Chandra Ganta. Ganta is the little bell. And I've really embraced her hugely. I've embraced the first one very much in my life, this Navratri. We do different things at different times, and they like can have as big a surprise. And Chandra Ganta is the one of the little bell. And she removes obstacles and negativity with the sound of her bell. Like demons just quake and disappear. Also along this way, so those were the three they were coming out of the deep dark waters. This for me, this year around, so I put them this way. Actually, I saw a lot of other people kind of put them this way. So there's been like such a resurgence of Shiva and of the goddess this year. It's absolutely beautiful to see. As I said before, I've like really been challenging to find the knowledge that I have, and was like almost every second word that I found I had to like figure out from the dictionary what it actually meant, because I've been like I hang out mainly in India. In India, I am hunting and seeking people that have got this knowledge that they're willing to share in English, and they are also on this beautiful path of self-realization to find their own roots, which is really wonderful. They're really wonderful. So watching the Indian news over the last few years has also been quite wonderful, because it's taken me on just so many different levels. So after we had this lady with her little bell, who comes through, she's now got her power because she's been proven well to be able to work with her power. She's the third goddess, and she has the Trishula. She almost always carries through her way. Almost always, she's holding on to the purity of the lotus and the water pot. Very often the water pot, but her rosary. Her rosary is her connection, is her mantras, is her ability to call in. And that's been just something really so wonderful for me this year is to see the formula which they work with, and it's such a beautiful formula, and it really works. So is to do a little bit of stretching, but to sit, to do the chanting, to do the reading, and to do the breathing. The breathing and to do the meditating while you're breathing. And yeah, to read a little bit of the holy scripts. Well, I read them in English and I listen to them in Hindi. So been, yeah, very, very, very interesting, and to do very basic little altar, and some of the reasoning behind the altar as well, and just the absolute compassion and pure love of the mother, that she doesn't really mind how you worship her. She's very forgiving. She doesn't. You don't have to do it properly, and you don't have to have all the right things. You just, yeah. So it is written in some places that you should, but as I said, each story, each lesson has like so many different interpretations, which go back thousands and thousands of years, from the Vedas and the Puranas and the unwritten texts, the passed down texts. So beautifully after Chandra, this lady of the bell, she's been very, very powerful for me to realize the power of sound, which has just been fantastic. She's been given a bow and arrow. She has, and the crescent moon is like the stamp. Remember when we were working with the crescent moon, it's like it's Shiva's symbol. Yeah, so that stamp. There's a long story with it as well, but everything has a story behind it. They don't just they don't just symbolize the moon. There's a whole story behind it. Yeah, which I just absolutely love. All these, they just make it so rich and so alive and so relatable. So when you start to embrace the stories, you don't see the moon in the same light anymore. So I do not hear a bell in the same way at all anymore, or any sound, because she governs sound. And yeah, we know about frequency and all of that and resonance, but this is just, it's my journey right now. It's just been really wonderful. I've tried to keep it simple, but obviously it's not always simple. And this is such deep, deep, deep knowledges. So she has the sword for cutting truth, the trident, the bow and arrows for aim and focus, yet her readiness to protect her devotees. So that's Chandraganta. And then I can't believe that was like already the fourth day, is to Kushmanda. I make all these like very funny little stories in my head to remember these names, because they're not easy for me to remember. If I understood or spoke Hindi or Sanskrit, they mean something, okay? Like I think Manda means smile. Kush means smile. Amanda means the universe. So whoever's out there with the name Amanda, enjoy. What a beautiful, beautiful name. So Kushmanda, then she moves into what I call the void. So she has her power, and now where's Kushmanda? Where's Kushmanda? Let's see if we have her here. There we go. And riding her beautiful white tiger. I like them on the tiger this year because it's a very strong, independent, on her own symbol of femininity. Yeah, very strong. Where's everybody tonight? So weird. It's okay. chasing rainbows. So Kushmanda makes the universe. She, as I said, is like Parvati or woman when she's pregnant, and she has so much just intense power within her. She can create anything. So from her womb, she smiles and she creates the amazing universe. And then, after Kushmanda, that was creation. Then we moved on to Skandamata, which is the mother of Skanda. So she's now given birth, and she has her beautiful little boy. So also yet again Shiva took that little dive away from those first two, but he's back again. As I say, his thread is all the way through, because Skanda is the god of war and wisdom, and one of Shiva and Parvati's children. So here she sits on her lion. Where's Skandamata? Come, Skandamata. Come, Skandamata. With her little Skanda. And remember, he's actually blessed by the Pleiades. And so interesting, she doesn't really have any weapons, she just has purity. She's like taken on a whole new aspect of purity as being the goddess, being the mother purity and the mother of Skanda. So she just holds these beautiful lotuses in her hands. So after Skandamata, we move into what most people think or is huge, is Katyayani, who is the kind of the epitome of Durga, with all her toys out there. So her children are kind of now grown. She knows when to use her power. She's trustworthy with her power. She knows how to use her weapons, and she knows which weapon to use, when to use it. And this is pretty much what the whole thing was about. And as I've said, when you read the stories, it's very gory. And I just thought it's so interesting because you're supposed to read it once a year. And I thought that's interesting. Yeah. So then we move on to, there she is. With lots of power. She's got all her whistles, her bells and her smells, and the conch shell, which brings in the sound of the universe. She's got the trishula. She has a spear of knowledge. She has weapons of focus and the sword of truth. The bow and arrow. I'm sure she still has her rosary, but she's also always blessing in with one hand and stopping fear with the other hand. So it's really nice to have her around. And then we move into the next part of, which is like governed by Saraswati, who is Brahma's wife. And there we come into contact with our dear friend. So it's kind of part of the resurrection. And we come into contact with our best friend, Katyayek. Where is she? To bring that other one up. But over the years, I've done different Navratri. The gory girl who's been wild. She's absolutely wild. And she's part of the resurrection. She is that dark night of the soul. She's got the sword. Obviously, she's very attached to Shiva. It's part of that story where Shiva goes underneath her feet, but that's the very dark side, yeah. And this is where she comes blazing in with her three eyes open. And just remember, she was created for this. Yeah, Durga was created to do all of this, and to save the world, to destroy the demons, both out there and within us, which is why we do these beautiful journeys, to actually come in contact with how we can really work simply with these aspects of the goddess, and to tame these and to enhance these elements in ourselves. And what's really wonderful to know is that out of all of this, there's out of the 9 days, there's just one really nice one. There's just Kalaratri, who's only for 1 day. Yeah, this is like give a woman what she wants, otherwise she will go berserk. It's like her midlife crisis. This is like her hormones kicking in. She's having menopause here. She's gone a little weird and wonky. It just depends. It's just a great Elohimi love and grace. It's just going through. We've got to Gnan, and it's like it's been such a long journey, and just so interesting for me. Like to weave it in a different way. So I don't know. I didn't see the thingy. I was just saying that it's quite wonderful to know that there's only one out of the 9 days is Kalaratri or Kali. And if we look at her in the schematic of women, of like very grassroots women, it's like women in her menopause phase where things go a little weird. And then we move from Kalaratri. I don't think I've got her here. I want to do the other one of her. Sorry, I've been so tired. I've been extraordinarily tired. There she is. It's her victory. She comes up. As I said, the story is that she's so very dark, but she's very pure. She's known as the pure white and glowing one. And the story is of Mahagauri, is that Shiva was like a little disturbed when he saw her the next morning in her very, very dark and disheveled state, and her skin was black and her eyes were still burning. That he very lovingly took her down to the Ganges to bathe, and she came out like a butterfly. Her skin actually apparently split, and she dropped that. So there was this complete metamorphosis, which is what we go through. We go through this rising into our Christ energy, our Shiva energy. I like to say it's my Shiva energy. It's a Christ energy. It's kind of many layers to it, but that's one. She is the symbol of purity and grace. The power of transformation, going from that dark night of the soul, and literally waking up the next morning filled with absolute purity and love, and transformed into this beautiful being of purity. And yet again, we see now she's gone this whole long circle all the way around again, and she's got all the toys of Shiva again. Yeah, she's Nandi's Shiva's the best buddy, and it's his mount. So he's like, Nandi's going to fetch her and take her to the water and bring her back from the water in her regalness, in her purity. She's got the Trishula, which is Shiva's trident, which is especially the 3 lower aspects of our being, but many aspects of our 3 body, mind, and soul that we emotions that we conquer, and clearing out the negativities from those particular areas. And The other very interesting is that her name is not Ma, it's Maha Gauri, and that is means the great and glorious. You know, it's like Mahatma Gandhi. So it's a very, very, very um, deeply, highly respected term. It's the extremely fair one, the extremely radiant one, and she, as I said, comes through. It's a big job, you know, it's being a butterfly. Yeah, it's having to totally surrender and come through. It's about, yeah, the, finding it yourself. Nobody can really take you there, can point the way. So she's just totally beautiful and exuding all the serenity and light and just radiating her absolute pure perfection. And yeah, oh right, she has the trident in the one hand, and then in the other hand, interesting, she has the damaru, which is the little drum. You know what that one's for. That's when he does the dance. Well, there are two dances there, the Tandava. So that's the dance of destruction, but that's also he does another dance, which is the dance of creation. The two very strong dances. And they still, when the Indians dance, they use there are 108 movements. So they actually use all those movements. And of course her lotus and her rosary, her mala. So she's really she is pure. She's absolutely beautiful, but she's really such a representative and such a what would the word be? I'm not sure actually. Mm, she didn't, but she is. She's such an emissary. She has such a there's so much love from Shiva towards her because he's given her his drum of creation and destruction to hold, and his bull and his trishula. So she's pretty much holding everything for him, you know. He's given her the keys to his kingdom, which is quite fabulous. And on this day, they do this other, some do it the next day, but many do it this day. It's like today, yesterday or today, the 8th or the 9th day, where they do this really beautiful little ceremony with young girls up to the age of 10, so from the age of 2 to 10, and they're in groups of 9, and they represent the goddess. And they wash their feet, and they tell them stories, and they cook them beautiful, wonderful food and beautiful sweets, and they feed them. And afterwards, the adults eat the prasadam, the kids eat first. But it's like passing on the goddess, and it's really just initiating that beautiful goddess within each child, each girl child, to grow up into this. It's just so fabulous. And it's just, if we think it's been around for so many thousands of years, got buried quite a lot, obviously, over this various centuries. There was Muslim rule, and then there was colonial rule. So it's, a lot is being like researched. I mean, just if one thinks that what's his name? Ganesha, he has been around even to Japan. They don't know how long, but he's been around for an extremely long time. Even before the Buddhists were Buddhists, there was Ganesha, funny little red elephant in those mountains in Tibet. But he's in Japan where he eats radishes, but otherwise pretty much similar. There is a feminine version of him as well. I have to go into that sometime. I'm sure I will do. I know I started and then I stopped for some reason. The 32 different aspects, the different forms of Ganesha. It's like, it's just for me, if I stop and I think it's just been such a journey, which is like hardly even begun. But the journey's actually just come through Shiva for me. And it just led me into all those other things, because you can't like not understand about Ganesha without Shiva. It's like because Shiva gives him all his power, and then all anyway. It's huge. The story is just way too flipping big. It's just so fantastic and so. It's not even an onion. I don't know what it is, but it's just unfolding and sparkling like a disco ball. There's nothing, no way that you can actually describe it. Just layers. This has been beautiful. This Navratri has been really very, very special and beautiful for me. And so it's very long. I don't know how long I felt some of these days were like extreme. It feels like at least a year, in the old days, like what a year felt like has passed, and it's just been 9 days. Time's been really interesting. But then we're dealing with all of these aspects, and I think I touched on a lot of them, and the energies in the veil and all of that is just so open. So I feel very honored to have been part of this. And of course, every year, this year, the last couple of years have been really special. So things that usually happen tomorrow, like Ram's birthday, which is really special, was celebrated yesterday, and that was very special. So, okay, so we have Mahagauri, who is just pure. But just remember the night before she was Kali, huh? Yeah, that's why I love this stuff. It's absolutely right. Yeah, this is this puts like makeup sex in a completely different category. I love Shiva, I really feel very I don't know what the word is. Very blessed to have that beautiful male energy. Father God, Big Brother God, I don't know. It's more than that. Way more than that. And then, then we have that beautiful, it's called Kanya Puja or something, Kanya Puja. And somebody actually just messaged me and said that they were just so grateful for this info because she remembers as a child running through the village in Delhi, and they would be given sweets, all the girls would be given sweets and money. And it was just so wonderful to slot it together and know why it was happening. And then we have her on this level, but she's so much more than this. And I don't know. And it's so weird. What's really been so interesting also is to get images. I mean, I know that I do my images, which I really enjoy doing, and but with some of this, they must be really specific. So I've tried to find specific ones, and they are very, 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 very. Obviously haven't tuned into the right spaces yet. They're very difficult to get hold of. The right images with the correct weapons and arms and all of that. Yeah. So we have my Siddhidatri, who is the blessings in the ninth form, and she is she's the resurrection. So yesterday we had the purification, and today we have the resurrection. Yesterday we had the resurrection, and now we have the blessings. So for all the work that we've done, we get blessed. We might not feel it right away. You might have been feeling it, or we've all been feeling whatever we've been feeling for a while. The blessings are coming in waves. But it's just for me really nice to be very conscious of a lot of those weapons. And yeah, Durga sometimes has the conch, but she definitely has the conch, which is I love it when Jared blows it. Such an amazing sound, because that is the sound of the primordial creation. It's like water, and that's one of her tools. I don't say they're weapons today. And she is here, so she has a lotus, which represents purity. She has the discus, which has slightly different meanings. Often it's like, but a lot of the time it's a cycle and represents time. And forgetting what she has. I have to look. She has the mace. It's not represented here. And she has the mace, which is control and focus. And bash you over the head. Control over the mind. You can read into all of these every year a different divine order. Obviously, the things just still stay the same, but it's like reading a book. After a few years, it's like, or seeing a movie, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't see it that way at all. Especially when you read something in your teens, or you see something in your early 20s, and then you see it like 10, 20 years later, and you think, oh, it was so completely different. How did I ever see it that way? So she is, let me give us somebody more better to have a look at. That she is the combination of all these beautiful goddesses. So a lot of people will just worship on this night. They don't do the other nights. That most people, they only do a celebration. I don't know in the temples if they do during the maybe definitely not now. Maybe in the August time they go to the temples every day, but this is usually just a great big celebration and a party. It won't be too huge this now, because this is a semi-private one. It's more of an inner one. It's not one that you share. So yeah, if you think that there are actually 4, and she also four Navratris. Two of them are the very hidden ones. They're the left-hand path, the darker side, the shadow side. Not easy. These days they're very hard to get through. So yeah. So the meditation of this is where she actually, I wanted to go through all the chakras, but basically she goes all the way up the chakras. And Makali actually holds the crown chakra. The next day, the purity is actually the blossoming. And this is actually within the pearl. It's actually meditating within the center of the head as the blue pearl. It's actually a very more Chinese Buddhist meditation, but where you take it into the head, the blue pearl. And she is surrounded, we don't see it here too much, but she's usually on a blue, she's not on a pink lotus. She's usually on a blue lotus or on a purple lotus. And I don't know about the pink lotus, but the blue lotus definitely has psychedelic effects. So whether she's using them as a siddhi, as plant medicine, there is a wonderful name for it, Amrita. She makes Amrita in her head. But she's also very, so she's got the 3 major gods there, Shiva and Vishnu and Brahma. And then she's surrounded by the old rishis and the sages and the ascended masters and the wise ones, because nobody will actually get anywhere without her. So I don't think she's got animals. Sometimes they leave the animals out a little bit. No, they don't. You know that they have. I started dipping into it and then I stopped. They classified, like over 8,000 years ago, they classified 8.7 million creatures. It's a lot of creatures. They also there are illustrations as to how babies grow in the womb. Not perfectly correct to what we have today, but pretty correct. Let's say 80 to 90%. And we had to wait for Leonardo to go and steal and cut up bodies to see what happened to babies. I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, so this is and she bestows the Siddhis on those. Not that she loves. There's obviously those that she loves, but those that can work with them. Yeah, that are strong enough and disciplined enough and focused enough. And sometimes you get different CDs that you don't know. And there are a lot of fakes out there, and you can see them a mile away. Like Shri M. Oh, God. He was one. And he's such a big guru, and people think, and he is. But, to do this manifestation, it was so, it was so obvious that he had something up his sleeve. And then he manifested ash or rose petals. It's not usually something, some of them do, and those are usually, those the people that are manifesting the real stuff, they are not on YouTube. They are in temples, in smaller temples, and they will really bring out jewels and gold. Those are the things that they pull out. Kaleshwara, he pulled out this emerald. What's that? A vel, which is the spear, which is what Skandamata. He pulled that out of the air, and it's there in. I think she's actually got it here in the States. I'm not sure if he gave it to her or if it's in India. Her name is Alex. She's quite fabulous. What is it called? Some of the I don't know, the kitchen, Baba's kitchen or something. But she's hugely big representative of Sri Kaleshwar here. And when he did he actually made it, just was rivers of Amrit, like pure honey that would flow when he did the Shiva Lingam and poured water on it. And they would collect it, and it had incredible healing powers. The others are that they can become small, like you can't be seen, like a teeny weeny little atom, which is actually wonderful. It's a meditation that I do. You're welcome to use it if you can hear and you'd want to do it, where you actually visually working with the pineal gland, and then you actually take yourself into the pineal gland. You make yourself teeny weeny 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 weeny. You go into this incredible little crystal, and it's quite a wonderful journey. So enjoy that, whoever can hear and wishes to use that with integrity. We find our own way. Or to make oneself heavy. I kind of sometimes wonder what the use of that is. Apparently, like Yogananda could do that. Yogananda, they would have maybe sometimes it's just like try and move me. And they would have 4 or 5 big burly men, and they couldn't even move him like an inch. He just became this heavier than lead weight. And then obviously there's levitation and going off to other places, flying off. You know what I mean? Dimity, no, it's not. I can't think. I'm tired. I've been so tired. This week has been so unbelievably tired. So, yeah, been a lot of goddesses, a lot of beautiful energy, a lot of like very Christ energy pouring in, and at the same time dealing with all of this. I'm really like I've enjoyed it, but I'm really really glad that it's over. So the 9 days were like felt like 9 years, definitely 9 months. Very strange. So what else can we do? Oh, and she is also, I didn't do a picture of her like that here today. I know. Well, she's also the Adi Shakti, which is the primal creator. That's why she has the conch shell. She doesn't have all those arms. She's only got 4 arms. But she loves to give. So you want anything today, just put your prayers out there to her. She is only too happy to bless. That's her big thing, is to bless. And she is, we were talking about the chakras. She is the blend, this is what I was getting at. And she is the blending of the Shiva and the Shakti. You know, where you see the half Shiva, half Shakti, that she often like materializes. That's where she comes in. It's actually on this day. So it's just for me that so many things have just so beautifully slotted into the story of Navratri this year, which, I mean, I've always, but I've really seen a lot of beautiful things this year that have made like some fabulous sense for me. And it's like, oh, okay. And I do like to go to the Indian stuff, to the Hindu stuff, to the Vedas, to find things out. It's for me, it's definitely a beautiful reference. So I was trying to say it's I know it's Ishvara at the end, the Mahatawa Lava Ishvara. I'll get it just now, maybe I won't. So these names are very, so bear with me please. These names are very complex, they're difficult for me. I not have her here. I really thought I'd written it here. The Adhanarishvara. I have to go, and it's a half Shiva, half Shakti. It's the union, because very often these words, and that's I'll go like research this one. So it's why it's so slow for me. It's wonderful. I love it. That's why I love it. It's juicy. So you break the word up and you look up all the meanings. Well, I do. You don't have to. I do. That's what I do. I break the word up and I look at, because Ishvara is love. And then get the meaning. I've got this whole long dictionary, my own dictionary. So in my own way, I'm teaching myself stuff. So that is her thing, and she has the lotus, which is really important, which is for now. It's fully blown and fully opened, and it is for purity and spiritual detachment. She's, yeah, if everybody loves her, because nobody's going anywhere without her. She is the embodiment of Mahalakshmi as well, because she just gives blessings, not just spiritual blessings, but physical blessings as well. She represents the final achievement in the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, offering the power of self-realization and the fulfillment of both material and spiritual desires. Worshipping Siddhidatri is believed to lead to the development of extraordinary abilities, ultimate peace, and the ultimate liberation of the soul, which is moksha. But remember, sometimes the extraordinary abilities are just also where the paths just open for you. No, that we're just there at the right time. The opportunities present themselves in front of us. So at the end of all of this, I'm really, really pleased that I have these amazing friends. I saw there was a beautiful thing by, he wrote it so beautifully the other day. She is lovely, huh? And when you know about her, she's just so much more. She's very, but you're only 4 arms. I get it. And it doesn't, this one's only got 4. But yeah, unless and I don't feel like spending so much time just to make an image. Oh, maybe one day I will, but not right now. But if you ask for 4 arms, you get like 24. So it's fine. There are a lot of goddesses and gods that have 18 arms. She does. She has also, but it does for Navratri. For me, this year it was like really important, and I really like understand the weapons and where they come from. They're blessed by the gods, like the discus is from Vishnu. The lotus is, and the beads are from Brahma. And I don't. Oh, who's the other one that I absolutely loved? Oh, right, which has changed my whole everything. I can't go outside without seeing it differently. Which is Kushmanda, where she's the smiling one who smiled to create the universe, and she fractaled herself and had this beautiful relation with Surya, who is the god of the sun. So it's just because Surya gives something, and I can't remember right now. There's so many different major gods as well that give the weapons to Durga. But she actually goes and she lives in the sun. She's not the sun, but she lives in the sun. And it's just like open like a hole. That's that beautiful picture of Durga that you like so much. You know, that beautiful one with the lion, like in total power. But she actually lives in the sun. It's part of the blessings of that day. What she does, she creates the universe. Should we turn that on? I don't know how to do a lot of these things. I'm really too tired to figure them out today. Yeah, that she lives in the sun. She is complete. She's different to the sun. And it's also given me a whole nother aspect and another way of seeing fire. I've really tuned in because fire is just, and water I've worked with a huge amount. Obviously it's going to take a whole new other elemental, it's all the elements, yeah. But it will take another layer, absolutely. The water pot, those first 2 days were very, very important, of the sprinkling of the water where everything is sprinkled. And we've also been working hugely with a lot of ceremonies with water, purifying the waters of the world and the fire energy. So working, I've been busy. I just wish I wasn't so tired. Germany makes me tired. So I have to really get out from under this double concrete blanket. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really, really tuning into, like, vibrating with the sun and the fire energy on. We know this, we know the codes, we see the codes, we feel the codes, we have like beautiful inspiration and like those big moments of like absolute wonder with the codes and seeing them and feeling them and the love. But this is like really taken it to to another fabulous and wonderful level for me. So yeah, the water and the fire, and that's very much this year, absolutely. Which I've said because it's been with from a feng shui perspective. The fire, it's the and I feel now we're going to really start moving with this fire horse. Yeah, this ascension is on the go as we speak, but also simplicity. It's like I'm just feeling like in this sheath of gold. It's enough for now. It's really enough. Like kind of mellow, kind of what they build, but no, I don't want all these big boom bangs. Um, just mellow. My head is big. My head is very big and gold right now. I feel that. So I do need to ground a little bit and balance that down because I want to make it bigger, make more energy in. Yeah, so it's this fire horse because from my perspective, from the feng shui, it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year, and a one is always a water year. So it sits in the space of um, our career, our future, what are we doing on the planet, our purpose. That's what the one holds from the Bagua. So it's really interesting that on top of that is the fire horse, and this only happens once every 60 years. And every time it happens, it's like always a crazy something interesting. It's like every time there's a year of the snake, there's something interesting. And when there's a year of the tiger, there are very few children born in China because it's not a very auspicious sign. You don't really want your children to be born in the year of the tiger. And so, yeah, so it's this fire and water that's really what we're working with, and the steam. So these are going to, the more that we work with them, and the more that we don't work with them, it's also fun because we just get these wonderful insights. Whether we're in a half meditation, full meditation, washing the dishes, just taking a walk, we get these amazing insights. And nature is just so, you know, she's so beautiful. Yeah, this year was really dead. This week was very devastating. They cut. Now I don't even want to go there. It's like, poor trees, poor trees, poor trees. Yeah. But it's one of the lessons that she gives us is she has spiritual detachment. So it's taking everything on. She's gone through a lot in the last 9 days, or the 9,000 years, or 90,000 years, or 9 million years, whatever it has been with those nine. And she's like, I relate it very prosaically to the person in the ER room who has to keep very focused and their feet on the ground and detachment. Yeah, because if anybody comes in with no limbs or children or whatever, there has to still be that absolute pure focus and detachment from what's actually happening to get the job done. So she embraces a lot of that detachment. So if that's how you're starting to feel, I will. I did a while ago, but I will. I must to thank you, Grace. I need that push. I'm getting the push for the other thing to put this. I forget. I have got so much writing on Navratri, and I was just looking because like when I first I went through this whole Shiva thing and on all the weapons, and I've forgotten that I have put so much together. But I will. It's like very important for me to do that. The feng shui again. Yeah. And we'll see, because that's kind of where I got into this stuff with. That was really through the Om Namah Shivaya, which is the five elements, and it's like beloved, thing of Shiva, and then I stopped and I thought, oh, oh, it means the five. Oh, who's this dude? Let me explore him a little bit. I know the five elements. Who are you who you think you know the five elements? So yeah, it's taken me down a very long, interesting, beautiful journey with my wonderful Shiva. Yeah. I will. Yeah, because I always kind of prided myself on being able to work from the Chinese perspective to integrate. That's why my work was like really fabulous, was that I could integrate and work and play with those five elements and manipulate them and manipulate them to work with them, yeah, to counteract. Because hugely my feng shui is curative. Because it's as wonderful as it is. But even if you can like build from scratch, you can't. You still got to have a toilet and a kitchen. Um, but I mean, most people don't have the money or the resources to move their front door on. Yeah, sometimes not. So we want cures. Yeah, we want to work with that. So that's where I learned to work huge for me, hugely with the yeah, I don't know. I must have a look. I looked at the Vastu. Is it Vastu? A long time ago, obviously, when I was very big with the feng shui, and I looked at it a little. I must look at it again. It's very they use directions totally. So I mustn't. I must really just. I'm not going to say anything. I must just look at it completely. Yeah. Yeah, because they really the Indians, the Vedic stuff, they have it. They've got all for me. They've got all the answers. Whatever I want to know. It's actually starting to do this really interesting meditation on like something completely weird and wonderful. And I thought, well, let me just see where it relates to and what points it relates to with the chakras. And it actually relates. They've got names for it. This chakra here and this chakra here, and what they do with them. And they so from the Vedic, it's all there. And I thought, oh, of course it's there. So that's just my reference point. I just go almost straight there. Sometimes with arrogance, but more and more with absolute humility and what the F is going on, know nothing, and know that just like water, you go to the Indian, oh my goodness. Then they talk about all the different kinds of water that we have, from melted snow to drizzle to rain to monsoon rain, and each one has a completely different element to it, and are used in different ways. So, yeah, as I said, I don't know because I know, and I did look at it before, and I just thought, no, I'll stick with mine. And I know that the way that I formulated mine works like very well. Which is a lot like the way that I'm learning this stuff as well. Like I knew a lot what was out there, but I had to figure it out for myself, and like because I was pretty much the first person that brought it over to South Africa. And people even in America, they didn't know. They were white people telling you all about feng shui, please. So I was just, and I think even in America at the time, very few people that speak Chinese. When I went to Chinatown in New York, I don't speak English. They're not interested in speaking English to you anyway. They've tried. So I was just lucky enough that my mother had a very good Chinese friend, and I knew one or two people, and I would just ask them questions. And a lot of people don't know why they do things, but with the stuff that I'd learned, I knew why they do things. So it's really quite wonderful. So it was a good. It's like this Indian girl who's like just like, oh, I remember doing this in New Zealand. Now I know why we did it. Yeah. So there's obviously some talent that I have there. So it's bringing its bringing its beautiful head up again for me to say hello. Let's do something with you. So I'm not sure how I will work with it. I will have to look very deeply into the Vedic. I dip around a little bit into the astrology, the Vedic astrology. It's got all these Jagannath. I don't get my memory around these names. It takes a long time. I was actually just going to research, looking to how I could learn Sanskrit online, or anyone near me that could teach me basic Sanskrit, because then it makes it so much easier, you know. Like knowing Latin makes English a lot easier as well, a lot richer. And Greek, a little bit of Greek and Latin, and it becomes like a very rich language. So yeah, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Because yeah, I always like to know why we do stuff. It's that big like wow. I think what also really got me hugely big time this year was the passing it on. I think I just glibbed over it last time. I mean, it was not, but it didn't like, wow, do you know what they're doing? That they actually pass the baton on and like really like encourage these children, brainwash them, you know, what you learn in between 2 and 10, that they are the goddess, they are the embodiment, they have the goddess within them and they can do anything. And those children will remember in in their later teens and in their adulthood that when they were 2 or when they were 5, they were Kashmunda or they were Kali. So it's like so important. It could be past life knowledge, but then I think I should know the names. Yeah, thanks, Grace. I do understand it easily. I don't know if I've been here a little bit, because they say that well, there are a few more than the 5 elements, but basically the 5 elements are the building blocks on every planet, on every way. I was just listening to someone about, what is she? She channels. She's a really amazing channel. I don't do channels. Um, there's Lemuria and then there's Lemuria. And it's also this like thing of beings, but they chose not to say they glow, they're luminous and they're big, but they chose not to incarnate on Earth. So don't know where that just came from. Yeah, they chose not to be here, but they are sending a lot of their knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. What was that other thing that I just was listening to somebody? Oh, it was so long ago. It was from the mother and from the elementals. How they see us. It's like this horror movie for them that just keeps going around in these horrible loops. And what we're doing, you know, with our trees, with our water, with our insects, squashing them, not taking time to look at them. You know, the water's so pretty, but yeah, we're not really having a relationship with the water. So this Navratri, and yeah, it's really like opened up. Maybe that's why I just like got so tired, because it opened up so many different relationships, which I will have to just slowly try to unfold. But I think we've all been on like a very, very big road at the moment, unfolding, and I'm just allowing this one to unfold in its own beauty. You know? And we had beautiful sunshine today, and then they sprayed the sky today. The Germans are having fun when they spray the sky. They do these weirdest, they just have fun with patterns right now. So you can't, maybe somebody's like saying, just look, we're spraying the sky. It's not just little crisscross things, you idiots. So now we're having like no more sunshine again. It's covering over. They don't want us to have the sunshine. My little Kushmanda, beautiful, beautiful goddess, who sends all her life through the sun to that different energy. So, okay, I shall go and wax lyrical in my dreams. I'm sure I shall see some of us and go and play out there in the astral. Go and make beautiful, wonderful things. Breathe beautiful air. Oh, every breath is a meditation. Every breath is a holy word. Yeah, no, it's been a very big 9 days. So I love, love, love you. Yeah. I shall take my rosary and my water pot. So, that's a good idea. Thanks, Grace. Thank you. Yeah, just to let these, because there've been a lot of compounded energies, and then also like it's just because the calendar's weird this year. So usually they celebrate the birthday of Ram today or tomorrow, which I always thought was just so wise to have this celebration after the 9 days of the goddess. And because it somehow it fell yesterday, so I was spent pretty much the whole day in like online meditation, which was beautiful, because it was also whenever he always brought in Matara, and to otherwise he would never have won any of the wars and any of the battles. Yeah. Anyway, so it was better. I've done, and there's been a lot of yep, and the body's feeling tired. So it is old. It's going to be a whole year older next week. Oh my goodness. That's why as well. So love us all, and thank you so much, and keep up with those beautiful images. I love them so much. It's really nice. I love the mermaids. What have you? You've been playing the elementals. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Yeah. Love you lots. Mwah. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening wherever the time is. Oh no, it's afternoon. Whatever. I need to go on vacation. I think so, Grace. Thank you. Some sunshine. Ah, I like that. I do like that. Thank you. I did look, a little while ago, I could have gone to Rome. You can fly on Ryanair, serious, for like 15 euros. I can get myself to Rome. But I think Italy sounds great. I like that idea. I need to get out of Germany. And not to Austria or Switzerland or Sweden, none of those places. Away where the sun shines. Anyway, love, 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 love. Italy sounds very nice. Thank you for that. I shall look. Thanks, my love. Take good care of yourselves.